Hey, it's Tammy, and here's another episode of Where's the Sun? It's been a while, I know. I keep trying to stay on a weekly schedule, and then something comes up and I blow it. So I apologize for that, and I appreciate you sticking around to see what's next. I'm sorry, I've been sick this week. But as a lot of people know, or maybe you don't know, that these videos are based on the Human Design Mandala and how the sun moves through each gate, and each gate are the number lines in your chart if you have one already, and if you don't, you can text, email, write comments, but basically I need your birth date, time, and location. Time is important sometimes, not wicked important all the time. I've run a few charts lately that I wish I did have a time so I could figure something out, but sometimes you can run them for different periods of a day and kind of figure out around about where that person falls. But basically, when the sun moves through these gates, it is felt, seen, or otherwise realized outside of yourself. All the planets go through all of the gates, and they all have some sort of impact as well, but I focus on the sun mainly because it's easier, and it's being someone who always likes to back stuff up with something that seems a little scientific. It's easier for me if I can actually see and experience it. So, which reminds me, I did need to look at some other planetary aspects for myself because I've been going through a lot lately. A lot of drama, a lot of things that have happened that are reminiscent of things that have happened before, or things that have happened recently that again the next week happen, and you kind of makes you sit back and take stock in your part of the process, I'll say. So I've been doing a lot of reflection, and where I've been sick, it's been even more so. But today I'm laying there and all these things are happening, and I find myself trying to clear the air with people, or things come up that don't make a ton of sense but must have been on someone's mind for a while. So I want to make sure that all of those things are put to rest. So then I jumped up like I do sometimes, and I grabbed my computer and I went on to see where the sun is. So the sun is actually in the fourth day of the 44. That means we have 2 more days left of this, and then it moves into the next gate. The 44 is, sorry, I do have to check my notes on this one because I'm so out of practice. I am making a conscious effort to make more time for this. I miss it so much in my life, and I totally miss doing readings. So if anybody needs a refresher or needs a reading, I have multiple options. And I will honor what's on the website right now. I don't feel like I need to do any specials or anything, but my TammyMurrayCousins.com website, those prices are on there. And if there's something that you want to try but isn't there, message me or send me an email or something and let me know. So the 44 is about truth. The 44 is about finding out the truth, clearing up the truth, testing to see if what you're intuitively being hit with is the truth or isn't the truth, and then looking at things that happen more than once, or repeat themselves, or a pattern that you might have, or it's funny because whenever I do that and I jump up and I look, it always ends up being something that actually makes sense to me. And this is why I love following the sun, because to me it makes me feel better, because I've been going absolutely crazy. And as many of you know, I do have the 3 gates of madness in my head, so I can think my way to death, literally. And I've probably done that this week, except not death, pretty close to death. Luckily, I have some great friends that let me bounce things off of them or listen to me when I go on my rants, and may or may not be able to follow or understand what the hell I'm saying, but they act like they do, and it's actually awesome. And I appreciate it. So like I was saying, it brings up things from the past. So your past could be yesterday, your past could be 20 years ago, your past could be, whatever. But it is going to bring up these lessons. And what's great about it is you have the opportunity with awareness to stop for a second and determine how you want to handle it going forward. So you don't just have to do what you have always done. This is like a great opportunity to listen. And I guess there are things that have happened just over the last couple of days that I've actually been able to bounce off someone, and I can see where people will get an idea, especially because I'm a line 5. So people are always going to see me as they perceive me to be. It could be totally different than who I am, but it's just something that happens when you're around people that have that, the 5 in their profile. So it's something I'm usually used to, but oftentimes I forget to like check in with my own behavior to see if the perception that people received isn't due to something that I actually did, or actually said. So it's really kind of interesting. To me, something could be totally benign, but to someone else who witnessed it, they're going to have their own perception. So especially when people don't know you really well or talk to you every day, and then something weird happens, you don't know what to think. So it's just been one of those weeks, and it's been kind of awesome. And I almost appreciate being sick, except I wish it would go away. Because it actually made me stay home. It made me slow down, which again happens to a lot of people. If you don't listen to your body as you're going along, you're going to hit the wall and fall over. And I pretty much did that this week. So anyway, I hope you're all well and free of whatever viruses are going around, and I hope you're not run down, and I hope you're making choices and decisions. And just remember that we're able in this period of time to, and this comes up to rebrand, react. The 4426 also has a lot to do with sales. So I have the 26 in my chart. I don't have the 44 in my chart. So I'm a real good salesperson, whether I am in sales directly or not. I could sell just about anything, just naturally. It's a flow. With the 44, you're actually able to add to that, or during this time I'm able to add to that. So I really should start taking advantage of that, huh? As should you. But the 44 has to do with being able to tell the difference between what something's telling you to be and what is. So like right now, if you're out buying something, you're gonna have more of a benefit to understand if that car really is not a lemon or whatever, or that idea or that agreement or that everything. Like there's just so much that this gives an opportunity for, and I apologize for being 4 days in before I even posted it, because I'm sure if you sat back and looked over the last couple of days, there's probably opportunities where you may have followed the same way of doing something instead of seeking an alternative. I know I have on a couple, but on a couple, I've been clearing out a lot of stuff, so it's kind of been cool. So anyway, that's what I have for you today. Again, take from this what resonates, leave what doesn't behind. If you need more information, there are other videos, I'm sure, on this page that address the 44. And I've noticed that every time I feel a gate, as the sun moves through, it's a little bit different. So there are times where I'm just quoting like what the gate is, and there's other times when I'm actually digging deeper or expressing different views or ways I experienced it, in hopes to explain it. That's in my chart too, using like metaphors and telling stories, and just like everybody tells me their stuff is in my chart. So if you find that people often just unload all of their stuff on you, you probably have the gate 13 defined in your chart on a regular basis. But anyway, I think that's enough. This might be the longest video I've done in a while. Thanks for sticking in there. TAMC2006@gmail.com. You can catch me on Facebook, Tammy Murray Energy Coach, or my website, TammyMurrayCousins.com. Have a great week, and I'll be back soon, I promise.